science, we do a lot of labs, and we work together in groups because the labs are designed for groups of 2 to 3, maybe 4 people as well. And so a lot of what science is participating between many different people and many different people, whether you know them or you don't. And we want to be able to have a good environment for us as a whole to kind of use our minds and kind of tackle questions, tackle hypotheses, and try to work and get to a common conclusion between every single group.
We come up with ideas as a group and then we discuss them. So it's a collaboration, a lot of discussion.
Each instructor, we help make sure the kids understand what they're going to be accomplishing for the day, safety, protocols, as well as how to treat the equipment with respect. What your job now is to determine how many A's make up one B.
Well, each instructor, there's 3 instructors in science right now, and in the labs, while the kids are doing the labs, the instructors walk around and we help all the individual kids with whatever questions they have, whether it's pertaining to the lab, whether it's kind of a little off of the lab, if they're asking things, for example, regarding why silver starts with Ag on the periodic table. Because the instructors, we all have a strong background in science. Science is our strong area and where we are focused on. We can help answer a lot of these questions that kids have, maybe the clan leaders have about lab procedure, about lab safety.
We actually take turns. Sometimes one of us presents and the other 2 will go around and help pass out materials. And we take turns doing that, and then all 3 of us help everybody complete the labs.
And respect for each other and what we're trying to learn. Mitchell has given you a calculator to help get you started to determine how many of sample A would compose one B. How will you find that answer?
When we're together, we first come together and we kind of discuss what we learned yesterday to kind of recap, since we only have an hour with all the kids. So we kind of recap, we try to work together and introduce the next topic, and sometimes we'll have kind of a questionnaire thing for the whole class to kind of do. We kind of want to make it a little bit more competitive so the kids have motive, some sort of ability to understand that they're not just raising the hand just because, but they have some sort of motive behind it, and so that everyone gets to participate, and we want the whole class to have fun and learn new things as we
we talk about how the class went, what we think about the labs. Want to make sure that everybody gets everything. It's more collaboration.
This year we're focusing on learning about atoms and molecules and what makes up this great.
In science, we try to approach it from a very, we understand that a lot of the kids we work with are a little bit younger, so their attention span isn't as long as, let's say, high schoolers. So we want to keep things fairly quick pace, a lab every single day. We don't want to spend the whole day lecturing. We try to factor in, what age group the kids are, and we put in new labs that we think will be fun. Very intellectually stimulating labs, as well as labs that are fun to do, that groups of kids would love to do. And we keep our talks very short, because if we talk longer and longer, it kind of drags and drags and drags.
Leadership in science is a lot like leadership everywhere else. It's being able to be a good role model, show people what you think you should do, following the directions, good protocol, being safe, and just showing everybody how to be
Science
good at that.
Is people taking chances and being willing to try new things and make more sense of how the world works. I mean, if we didn't have leadership in science, just think of all the wonderful innovations we would never have gotten because people wouldn't have been willing to take those types of chances.
Right now in science, we're talking about atoms, and we're discussing atoms and molecular properties and how that kind of is in our lives every single day, and how every makeup we have is made of atoms, and we kind of want to continue to push this growth into the kids so that they understand it, and we're using models, we're using labs, we're using elements to kind of illustrate that everything we do is made up of these tiny things called atoms and elements that make up every sort of living thing.
Science it's everywhere. You can use it to learn all about trees and plants and people and plastics, and you can learn all about the world all around you and yourself from science.
What kind of topics do you guys discuss in class?
This week we went over things like the periodic table. We went over atoms. What are atoms made out of? Next week we're going to be working with the art department, but we're going to start out with pH, so acids and bases, and we have a lot of really great labs, interactive labs with that.
Next question.
You learn from science. Well, you really get to learn a lot about what makes this world go round, what's going on in our world and universe.
Use that as a relative.
What number is that going to be?
658.
1.0.
I think leadership in science is just understanding and using a very confident voice to show that this is what science is, and when kids ask questions, find answers to it. If you don't know the answer, you continue to search for it and be there to help the kids. It's about being there. It's about being a role model and trying to live your life like that too. And in class, just kind of being there and helping the kids grow in their what they're learning.
We have like the scientific method, so we come up with, for every lab, we come up with a question, and then we use the materials in class to determine what the answers are.
Getting really involved, doing a lot of projects and labs and explorations, and inquiring so that we can learn more.
You want to say your name and what you do?
Yeah. I'm Ben Segman. I teach science here at camp. All right, so here's what you're going to do. As you continue to work through step 4, if you get done with that, you can start moving on to step 5 and 6. Mitchell's going to be coming around with the A samples to have you start testing it out. So,
how close you are to what you got.
yeah, so Mitchell will be coming around to visit your.
My name is Mitchell Feng, and I'm a science instructor at Concordia College for the.
It's going to foam up a little bit. As you can see, there's a lot of yellow color in. Can you see it start foaming up? What it's doing is it's contacting the things that don't really want to dissolve, and it's holding them in this foam. And then when it's dry and hard like a rock, you can take and grind it into a very fine powder, into plaster, and paint on the wall. So here we have ink. Red is the hardest color for me to get. Most plants outside are going to give us yellow. Lots of yellow. Like these marigolds. Tree leaves will give you yellows. Some plants give you a green